Oh, I go live early. Oh well. Hmm. What's up, you guys on Periscope? How you doing? Happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode with the Sunday Night Thunder Crew. I think Ed is still going. Let me. I can hear him in my ears.
I'm going to reinstate the previous judgment.
Okay. He is still going. Okay. Okay. All right. So he's still in my ear. That's the reason why you guys hear silence. Anyway, so welcome to another episode of the Sunday Night Thunder Crew. The Sunday Night Thunder. This is with your boy Terry. Listen, man. Um, I just wanted to come on real quick today in my little 30-minute slot. Um, and I want to talk about the elephant in the room. And so hopefully I don't want to offend anyone. That's not my. What's up, Ryan? I see you. Um, hey, I don't want to offend nobody. That's not my purpose in talking about this. But the mass shootings that have happened over the last few hours here. Thank you for inviting your followers. I appreciate you. Over the last few hours. Is really astonishing to me. And if you are a what's up, Daddy West is up in here, man. Yeah, and on Facebook, first time watching. Step up, absolutely. All right, so with the shootings I've gone. I mean, I'm not going. I'm not going to. Thank you for the soup hearts, Lala. I see you. Put you over here so I can see you. Um, as a black male, it extremely upsets me, or as a human in general, it upsets me because someone around who's after Terry, that's going to be Musa. It's after me. Musa Mines is after me. And so I'm not versed on a lot of the demographics and logistics of what happened. The only thing I know is the young man down in El Paso walked into a Walmart with an AK-47 and shot 20 people, and he was he was captured and hauled off into custody with no what's up, Devontae, with um no nothing happened. Now, one of the things that I saw on Facebook that really interested me was a picture that was put up, and it was a picture of Eric Garner on the left. And if you guys are not familiar with who Eric Garner is, Eric Garner was the one that was killed outside selling loose cigarettes. He was choked out by the police, and they had all the T-shirts that said, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." That was Eric Garner on the left, and then they had the picture of the gunman on the right. Now, I don't know about you, and if it doesn't do anything to you as a human, because I'm not gonna pull race into it. I'm not gonna pull politics into it, and none of that. Just as a human, if that doesn't seem right to you, then you might want to check your pulse, because this unarmed black man was outside of a store selling loose cigarettes, which is illegal in New York, granted, but this young man walked into a Walmart. Think about this just for a second. Who in this live doesn't frequent a Walmart? This young man walked into a Walmart in a state that have open carry. That's and that place, Walmart has always sold ammunition. Walked into this Walmart and opened fire and killed 20 people and wounded 26 others. I think it was. It was just bad. And he gets carted off with no incident. When you think back to over the years of the past incidences, the guy that went down to in Charleston went and walked into the church and shot all those black people in the church, and he again carted off. I think they took him to Burger King, after he was carted off. And you have to, as a human being, you have to be like, okay, this is crazy. Well, let me see read some comments here. Let's see. Excessive force agreed, but Warner said Garner had heart attack, no asphyxiation. Okay. Then if you agree with the excessive force, then we're kind of on the same page. But this young man who shot 20 people, you know, and I saw a picture, 26 dead. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then and not only that, then there was another mass shooting just hours later in Dayton, Ohio, where I think it was 7 people that was killed. The gunman is dead, and this young man shot his sister. She was among one of the 7 that was dead too. This young man shot his sister. Come on. And then there was a shooting out in Brooklyn. And there was a shooting out in California. This is all in the span of about 48, 72 hours. And you have to ask yourself, this weekend has really been bad. Thank you, Sweet Susan. It's really been bad. I'm not a fan. Gun control, I don't want to take nobody's guns away. Now, that's just not me, right? If you got it, wear it. But something has to be put into place. There are innocent NBC talent scout Vegas. Hey, hello from Vegas. What's going on? It is just too much. When you can walk into a Walmart and you can shoot up 26 people. I mean, over the weekend, I think it's 26, but 20 people in this one. Come on, 15 dead in Chicago? Are you serious? 15? Come on. And we can talk about Mr. President, and we can blame him. It ain't his fault because people are home going crazy. They don't have anything to do with President Trump. Okay, so that's before we even get into that debate. I think that some people just home going crazy. Now, I think that he should have gave a better condolence speech than what he did. Yeah, Garlic Fest was in California. So yeah, innocent people, women, men, children are leaving here. I'm going to shout out the young man that is in military service down in El Paso, and he saved the life of kids that were hiding from this gunman. It has to stick something in your craw as a human. Playman is always what's Playman and always get away with murder. They get a chance to sleep in jail. I mean, it's not any one thing that anyone can or should be blaming. You know what? I don't know. I read the manifesto for them. I have not read the manifesto, but I heard it was pretty good. I also heard, I saw, or somebody had posted his profile pic where he had Trump written out in all of his guns. So, you know, and the caption read, on the caption read, we know who his hero, you know, who his hero is. You know, all of that is besides the point. To me. So, Jojo, to me, what kind of human being? Who are you really mad at? The Walmart that he went to was African. No, that was in Brooklyn. The one I think is in El Paso was kind of Hispanic area in El Paso, because I think that's where they come first when they cross over the border or what have you. But how much hate can one person have, or 2 people or whatever? How much hate can you really have that you can take an AK-47? First of all, anybody know how heavy that gun is? That's a heavy gun, right? And it was he took from someone else. Well, it's crazy, man. It's still crazy. How much hate can one person have to walk into an establishment like Walmart and kill 20 people, man? I mean, come on. I mean, racism in this country is one of those things that it's been there, will always be there. I don't think it's going to ever change. I'm like The Rock. And he put out a statement. He said, you know what? I don't know the answers, and I don't either. But what I do know is there needs to be open dialogue when it comes to this, because you're going to have people from both sides. You have people from both sides, and you're going to say, well, you know, don't take my guns away, or you know, there need to be more gun control, whatever. I don't know what the answers are. But what I do know is that we have to do something besides talk amongst each other. There has to be an open dialogue somewhere. Because how many more times do you think, honestly, how many more times do you think this is going to happen before any changes are made? We use those solutions to this problem. I don't have a solution, Johnny boy. All I'm saying is that there needs to be a conversation. If I had to, it would be illegal to be able. You have to go through a whole rigmarole, just like trying to get a job with the FBI in order to get an assault rifle. Thank you, Brian Ryan. I got you. Those were the hateful issues. Texas against Mexicans and Ohio against blacks. It's absolute insanity. I totally agree with you. Absolute insanity. Okay, so what was the issue with the kid out in California at the garlic festival? You mean you tell me you can't go eat garlic at a garlic festival without getting shot? I read a great meme the other day. The answer is putting God first in our society. No God, no peace. Eric, man, listen, that's no true words have been spoken. But you have to understand, in the society that we live in, everybody don't live that way. Everybody don't think that way. That's the hope. As believers, the hope is that we believe no God, no peace. We believe that. But people that aren't believers aren't going to say that. They're going to be like, I hate race mixing. I hate to see. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and it's scary for me because, in some degrees, because my wife is Caucasian. I have mixed children. Somebody comes after my children or my wife. They gotta see me. That's all I'm saying. But where does the conversation start? Thanks, Mr. Papa Tim. Thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you. But when do we start to have a conversation? But see, here's the thing with having conversations is that everybody got an attitude. Everybody got an attitude. Everybody has, because they feel like their point is the best point. My way or the highway. If you're a Democrat, you suck. If you're a Republican, you're racist. We all have that, and that's our stance. I said what it says. Professor has a twig with registered Democrat. That was in DARPA. Professor was pushed to his agenda. It's crazy. Is going to stop? I don't think so. To be truthful. Doesn't matter how much gun control there is of people that want to get the guns will get them. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Guns are not the issue. I totally agree with that. Excuse me. So, excuse me, y'all. So, in having that particular stance, which is great, I believe it too. I don't. A gun is not going to walk up from the table and shoot somebody in the forehead. It's not going to do that. It's going to be that person that's mentally unstable is going to pick up that gun and shoot somebody in the forehead. So I agree with you with that. So how do we stop it? Where does the dialogue begin? Right? Where does the dialogue begin? Because I'm with C-Suite. Our division is like, girl, I promise. It is crazy, the division. Like I said before, everybody has a stance, and everybody believes that their stance is the right stance. Sometimes it ain't always about what we think. Sometimes, excuse me, it's not always about what we think is right. It's not about what we think sometimes. Sometimes it's about what's right. And we'll see what happens. And the person that is mentally unstable may have a clean background and pass all the check. That's true. And that is the scariest thing to me, Allison. That's the scariest thing to me. Because someone can be absolutely clean, have just a squeaky clean background, but be totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in the head. It's crazy. Joseph said, honestly, it would never stop because there's always evil in the world. They will find the gun in the black market. I agree with that too. But, Martin Luther King, MLK, had a great saying, and I'm going to try to remember it right now. He said, I forgot what it is, but something about love. Uh, love overshadows darkness. Something I can't remember, but it was a good quote. But we're gonna have to start loving each other. We're going to start. Do I worry about the mental health issues forcing this to continue? How do we force this to stop? You know what? Mental. I'm at a place. I'm at a place to where I feel like, but Allison brings up a good point. I mean, because there are some people who are clean and can pass a background or can pass a psych eval. There's some people that can do that. There's some well functioning psychos walking the planet, as we have read in the news. Right? I think my grandma was at a Brownsville in Brooklyn. She lives over there, such a bad area. Man, I tell you, I don't know. Fix mental health, pills aren't the answer. I agree with that too. Ice, baby. I agree with that too. I believe that pills aren't always the answer. I think it's gonna take a lot of therapy. But let's be honest, and let's speak into the realm of reality. Okay. Medication, that's why they make it. I mean, so let's speak in the realm of reality, because we can't say take away pills and take away meds and the mental problem goes away, because some people are just so far gone they need the medication to stabilize their emotions or stabilize their moods or whatever that it takes. But it's something has to happen. A conversation has to take place. I mean, when you think back, I read somewhere that there were more mass shootings than there were days in the year this year in the history of the country. There were more mass shootings in the history of the country that has been in the year of 2019. Yeah, some people meds do work for us. So I don't agree with taking away meds. Because people need those. But our future, how much longer do you think our future is going to last like this? Here's where it's shown that most slowly planned build events usually just not snapping. Exactly. Well, this young man, Ryan, apparently had a manifesto. He thought about it for a long time. He planned it. Exactly right. He planned it. There aren't too many that just go snapping, except for that one dude in DC sniper, who just got mad because his wife wouldn't take him back and start shooting everybody. I get that. But how much longer is this country going to last like this when you have people who are internalizing their hatred? Let me read Eric's first. Psychopathic drugs are definitely a problem. It removes the barrier. If a person is just given pills and their root issue or not addressed, the problem remains. I agree with that. Oh, Eric, brother, that's the truth right there. Main Street, yeah, it's not a serious combo. It was a serious combo. Okay. And so NBC Talent Scout Vegas says, question, how do we bring the races together? Black on black, crazy. Here is what I suggest. If we could bring the races together, one of the things that I would do if I was an organizer of that particular situation is that first we're going to put aside all of the crazy rhetoric. We're going to put aside all of the idiotic nonsense that we've picked up over the years. See, some people are walking around with remnants of stuff they picked up when they were 10 and they're still carrying it, right? So already they have a preconceived idea about what's good and what's bad, when they have no ideology about the truth. What's going on? And so in order to bring races together, hate cannot be in the same place. If you have an issue, I agree. We need to reunite. I agree. We have to, but some people just hold on to hate. They hold on to hate like it's the last Pepsi in the case. You understand what I'm saying to you? Some people hold on to hate like it's their last pair of drawers in the dresser, and they don't want to let it go. We all bleed red. I totally agree with that as well. And we're losing this battle because nobody wants to talk. Here's the thing: some people are just, I don't want to deal with it. Y'all handle it. Let me know when y'all come to a conclusion. Some people will take their hands out. They will watch the news go nuts. Thank you. Hey, look, can I do one same place? It cannot. You know, it's just like, hate can't dwell in the same place as love, just like a Duke fan can't be in the same room as a Tar Heel fan. Not gonna happen, right? So you have to eliminate hate. That's the better question is not how do we reunite the country, not how we reunite the races. How do we eliminate hate? How do we eliminate hate? That's the better question. Because once we eliminate hate, then we can kill. Everything else is easy. Everything else is easy peasy. If we can get rid of hate, everything is easy peasy because you're able to open up a dialogue. The wall is now down if you take away the hate. People will light up fireworks tonight after a wedding, and it's like, what the WTF? You see the news, no respect. People don't care. People don't care because Karen, if I may say so, people don't care until it hits their backyard. I want somebody to catch that real good. Just catch it in their spirit real good. Most people don't care until it hits your backyard, until you get that phone call and they say, I'm sorry, but. So people, yeah, if it doesn't, most folks in this country have that mentality. Well, if it's not in my yard, I don't want to deal with it. If it's not in where in arm's reach of what I got to deal with, I don't want to mess with it. But if you don't think that eventually this is going to come full circle and come back to where it does touch your circle, where it does touch your street, come on. By instilling the core value of judging a person by the content of their character, not by what they look like. Exactly. Thank you. MLK, that was one of his best quotes. This can be applied. This can be applied by almost anything. Exactly. Backyard comment. I'm just saying. Because until it hits your backyard, it's like how many people were at the wedding and nobody said, hey, maybe this isn't the best idea. I mean, again, nobody really cares. Yeah, speaking of, I just had a drawn out thing on my page about my views about the issue. Like I said, that's what I was talking about earlier, Sherry, is that, everybody has a stance. Well, don't blame Donald Trump for everything. Okay, who said that? This young man walked into a Walmart and shot up people. Donald Trump want that? He didn't have anything to do with that. Now, his response to what happened was lackluster. His response to it was lackluster. I'll say that. But it's just crazy. Thank you, War Eagle. I appreciate that. We're going to see what about public utility. For what? For what? For what? Did they cut the power on fast enough? Is that what's going on? I mean, come on, really? Okay. And it's crazy. It hurts my heart. And to think that I got children coming up in this world that if they at the wrong place, wrong time, they can leave here. I don't get it. There needs to be cast into eternal fire for hate, evil sickness to be gone for good, bro. You know what? That is the hope of every believer walking the planet. But we also know as believers, it doesn't happen that way. Okay. I have, can you imagine? I just want everybody who's watching this, Periscope, YouTube, wherever you guys are. I want you guys to imagine if you've ever seen A Time to Kill with Matthew McConaughey and Samuel L. Jackson. I'm going to take you back to that movie just for a second. I want everybody in here that's watching, all 19 of you that are in here, and 14 on Periscope. I want you guys to close your eyes just for a second. We have police states that shouldn't happen here. This world is absolutely scary. We would not have freedom from hate. We are all redeemed. Exactly. So I want everybody to take a second. Close your eyes just for a minute. I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. Everybody, close your eyes just for a second. You get up in the morning. You're doing your morning duties, and you tell your daughter, your son. They ask you, Mom, Dad, can I go? Me and my auntie are going to Walmart. We're going to pick up some swimming stuff for the pool, for the party for the party later on. And you say, sure, go ahead. You with auntie, you're fine, and you're good to go. Hour and a half passes. You get a phone call. It's the police department. Sir, ma'am, sorry to inform you that your daughter's son has passed away. Was shot in a shooting. Tell me what your thought is going to be. Give me your first thought. And now try to figure out, okay, how do we fix this now? You had to deal with this growing up. Rob, 46, man. I tell you, I'm 44, Rob, and never. Someone is in hatred, so they decide to solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution. You got that? Thank you, Ryan. 5 minutes. Okay. Can you imagine the hurt and the sorrow you would feel if you were one of the family members from El Paso, Dayton, Brooklyn, California, and it was your family member? I bet you want to do something now. We got to do something now. We're finna call up congressmen, congresswomen. We're going to write the president. We're going to write letters to the White House. We're going to do all that because now we done touched your backyard. Now you want to. We done touched your backyard now. Now you want change. Now you want some kind of gun control. Now you want something because we've touched your backyard now. Thank you. Brandon McGuire says she will be in denial. I would too. You couldn't tell, man. Let me get that kind of phone call. You couldn't tell me nothing. I would be outside of myself. Straight outside of myself. I couldn't. But this is where we are, good people. In closing, this is where we are. We are in a country to where we are afraid. Some of us may not be afraid, and it's not about being in fear, but we're fearful because anything can happen. You mean if I go to the store, I cannot come home? This is where we are. So we got a couple things. We got a couple of choices as a people. I got a minute and a half. We got a couple of choices. We either can stay here, be stagnant, and let what's going on continue to go on, or we can say, okay, what can I do to make a change? Y'all gonna make me start a revolution out here. What can I do to make a change? How do I eliminate hate from my life? It starts with you. It all starts with you. When you look and examine yourself and you make sure, okay, I'm straight. I don't, all I saw was a school fight and worried about getting my touch from see. I'm trying to tell you. Eliminate hate from your life. It all starts with you. It's a trickle-down effect. Or actually, in this case, it'd be a trickle-up effect. Because if you start with you, then you're going to touch everybody else on the ladder. I'm just saying. I got 30 seconds. I want to thank you guys for joining me on the Sunday Night Thunder Crew. I really appreciate it. Ryan, thank you for timekeeping. All the comments, the hearts, the shares, the invites, all that. Thank you for coming through. Have a dialogue with people. Wait till Miller come on. Okay, I haven't seen either one of them in the thing. Eric said I would want Antifa identifies as a terrorist organization and their members punished as terrorists that they are. Exactly. I agree with that too. Mike Livestream said we need to carry everywhere. Good people stop bad people. I agree with that. Now I'm a firm believer in that too. Chicago deals with this every day. No one says anything. Well, Raleigh 5 company, listen, man. Chicago's on the radar. I mean, I agree with you. There's not a lot of coverage, just like the mass shooting that was in Brooklyn. There's not a lot of coverage on the Brooklyn shooting. There's a little bit of coverage on the California shooting, a little bit of coverage on the Dayton shooting, a lot on the El Paso, of course, because there was more victims. But there's nothing on Brooklyn. Chicago is just, I don't know what needs to happen in Chicago. Chicago scares me. I used to live in Chicago. And Chicago is still, and I don't even live in no more. It still scares me to death. Thank you, sweet Susan. You are welcome, my dear. Let's see. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. So wait for my next door counterparts to come through, and then I'll get off here. But we have to change the way we personally think, because what we can't do. This is what I'm gonna say. This. I'm hopefully she'll be on. But we have to change the way that we personally think, because you can't change the mind of the next door neighbor. You can't change the mind of the person down the street. You can't do it. The only thing that you can do is change what you think and what you do. You teach your children the right way. You love your children, right? Because sometimes kids do stuff. These kids, they're the ones that in Columbine years and years ago, they did it because their parents. Look at Eric and the Menendez boy. They killed their parents because they didn't love them. Love your babies. Love your babies. Do what is necessary for them. But eliminate the hate from your lives. Because until we can do that, we will hear another report of a shooting. We will hear of some crazy domestic violence stuff. We will continue to hear nonsense until we eliminate the hate. I'll repeat it one more time before I go. Let's eliminate the hate from our lives. If you have a hidden hatred for someone else because of the color of their skin or because of whatever, you need to take that beef. You need to take that hate. You need to put it on on the grill and grill it and eat it and get rid of it. Because this country is going to continue to go to hell in the handbasket. Excuse my French here. It could go to hell in the handbasket until we make some drastic decisions in our life. Until we can learn how to eliminate hate. And I'm going to, like I said, I mentioned it before and earlier. My wife, who's Caucasian, a lot of my friends who are Caucasian. I live in a state to where it's 90-10 Caucasian to African American in this state. Listen to me. I love everybody, white, green, blue, indifferent, ugly, bad. It doesn't make a difference to me because I don't hate anybody, because I know now. Because it's going to take the love of the people. It's going to take agape love of the people to remove the hate. You can't just say I love you. Give people lip service. You got to give people show enough agape love, unconditional, love them regardless. Now these young men that did these shootings, all the shooters, and between Dayton, El Paso, Brooklyn, California, I'm not going to hell for nobody. It's not up to me to forgive them because they didn't do anything to any member of my family. But what I know is that they are going to have to be judged for what they did. We can't judge them. Texas is going to give that young man the death penalty. That man ain't going to leave here. But that is the law of the land. We can't judge anybody. We can get on these posts on Facebook, Twitter. Twitter's been blazing, right? We can get on Facebook, we can get on Twitter, we can get on Tumblr, we can get on here and say whatever we want about what's going on. We can make our claims and we can say, well, I feel this way and nobody's going to trump what I'm saying. You know what? Keep that particular mentality because it ain't going to solve nothing. guess what? It's gonna be another shooting, another week or so from here, and you talking that same crap. The question you got to ask yourself is, what are you going to do about your situation? How do you take the hate out of your life? How do you protect your family? If your state says you can carry. That's me. If your state says whatever the law of the land is, abide by that. Don't do anything crazy. Abide by that. Protect what's yours, because God only gave you your wife, your children, whatever God has given you. Those are blessings from God, and you have every right to protect it. That's what the Constitution says. We have the right to bear arms. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if I'm in this Walmart and I got a 9mm on my hip, and somebody coming in with an AK-47, yeah, he going down today, boy. That's just what that is. But I can understand the calamity that was going on while this guy was in Walmart shooting. I can absolutely see that. But what do we do? How do we protect the blessings that God has given us? How? That's the question. Everybody on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else are right fighters. They want to be right. It wasn't his fault. See, he's mentally unstable. Forget about trying to be right. Let me say it to people that's listening. Forget about trying to be right. Because if you're not part of the solution, guess what? You, sir or ma'am, are part of the problem. As a society, we have a problem. Everybody has their own opinions. My mama used to say, before she passed away a long time ago, in 2007, she said to me, son, don't care about people's opinions. Opinions are like armpits and buttholes. Everybody's got them. Take that opinion, move on. Well, I'm here. I just come on once a week. I'm on with another group during the week. But I'm just saying, people have opinions and they're gonna say what they say. And I was reading through some posts on Facebook. I oftentimes troll on Facebook, and I'm reading stuff and I'm going like, these people are just really upset. What are you mad about? Does not affect you one way or the other. Are you part of the solution? Were you there? Did you help? Or were you a first responder? So you haven't heard from Musa or Dizzle. Okay. Well, you tell me what you need me to do, right? But it's just absolutely amazing to me that as soon as tragedy hits this country, immediately this country divides like the Red Sea. I repeat that. Anytime tragedy or calamity strikes this country parts like the Red Sea. It's crazy to me. There's no togetherness. There's no what can we do to make it right. When did someone reach out to the people, the family down there? Hey, need anything? Hey, anything I can do? Nothing. Because we're stuck in our own mentality. Well, because there is an idiot somewhere. I think it was, you know what? This reminds me, and I haven't heard anything from Musa Dizzle. So let me know, Ryan, which one you do. Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is an astrophysicist, you guys may or may not heard of him. I read a tweet from him this morning that truly disturbed me. And he said, let me find that tweet. Where's my phone? Okay, here it is. Let me find that tweet real quick. And it was just the most disturbing tweet I've ever read in all of my life. Let's see if I can find it. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold tight for me. Okay, here's the tweet. This is from Neil deGrasse Tyson. And you tell me if it's sickening to you as it was to me when I first heard it or read it. This is from 10 hours ago. He said, in the past 48 hours, the USA horrifically lost 34 people to mass shootings. On the average, across any 48 hours, we also lose 500 to medical errors, 300 to the flu, 250 to suicide, 200 to car accidents, 40 to homicide via handgun. Now, that wasn't the kicker that got me. This is what got me. The end of his tweet is what got me. He said, often our emotions respond more to spectacle than data. I read this tweet and it infuriated me. Do really? So now we're addressing mass shootings as a spectacle now? Mr. Tyson, I hope somebody share this to him real quick. Mr. Tyson, if you're watching this, you're an idiot. I get what you're saying. I get the other stats as far as but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the mass shootings that are taking the lives of innocent people in this country, and you want to pull up stats. If you don't get out of here and sit down somewhere, I need for you to go ahead and sit all the way down, sir. I need for you to go to Citi Field up in New York where the Mets play and take all those seats, brother. I need for you to do that. Our house divided will certainly fall, without question. Without question. So I don't know what's going on. Mr. Divide is called by both sides, as both sides are all too quick to capitalize on any tragedy for political gain. Thank you for that comment on YouTube, Vincier. I agree, sort of. I agree with the divide caused by both sides, but that's about it. I don't know about characterizing. So everything for girls, neither music nor autism. Okay. What's the fix all? The fix there is no fix all. The only fix all that we can control is whether or not we continue to hate each other. That's the only fix all that we can control. If we can learn how to not hate one another. If we can do that, I think life would be a lot simpler. It'd be a lot easier. That's just me. All right. All right, Ryan. I don't know what you want me to do. I am at 42 minutes here. I have to work in the morning, so I don't want to stay on here all night, brother. So you tell me what to do. I can set it down. I can go and tell me what's going on. He's trying to say we are all complacent, still spectacle. Should we be more aware overall? I agree. Yeah, I think so. But I think he should have left it at that particular, left his line and then the stat and then left the other thing. I don't think he should have put that whole we care more about the spectacle than stats. I think it's crazy. That's a bit much. Neil deGrasse Tyson is just that dude that always got something to say extra. You know what I mean? Just kind of let it go. I see where he was going with it, but you know, it's been going since the beginning of man. I agree with that. And stay on as long as you're comfortable or want to. Haven't heard from you, so it doesn't. Nice. All right. I will do that. Vince says the fix starts with placing blame where it belongs with the one that pulled the trigger. Exactly. Hey, because everybody else wanted to blame Trump. And don't get it twisted. Not one iota Trump, his response to it all was lackluster at best. But we can't blame Trump. Now we can blame him to the point of some of the rhetoric that he's probably spit over the last 3 years he's been in office. I get that. But as far as these shootings are concerned, with you, Vincier, I totally agree with you, is that we have to take the blame and put it at the feet of the trigger men. The blame starts right there because they are going to have to deal with the consequences of their actions. So the blame starts right there. I totally agree with you. Totally agree. You may anytime you now feel like, okay, sure wish you can get on national TV. Well, that'll be great. That would be, you know what, War Eagle, that would be the blessing of God. If God allows it to happen, it will happen. I'm hoping somebody can catch it, but it's not about trying to get found. It's about being truthful and being honest. You know what I'm saying? So for that, it is about 45 minutes in, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. You guys, thank you again for listening to me rant and ramble. All my guys on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, thank you for listening. All the hearts, the shares, the invites, all that. Thank you for joining me on the Sunday Night Thunder Crew. I will be back next Sunday on the Thunder Crew. So come back and see me. If you have not yet subscribed on YouTube, go ahead and click subscribe over there and click the little bell so you can get notifications when I do a stream or go or post a video. If you're on Periscope, if you don't follow me on Periscope, go ahead and follow me on Periscope. And I'm going to see you guys next week. All right. Have a good one. Peace.